Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of Black and White Gaming's Game Club. I'm your host, Peter, with my friends, Johnny Bag of Donuts.
Hey, hey, ho!
And, let's see, this week I'm going to name you...
Make a good one.
Gohan's real father.
Wow. That's Piccolo, baby. What's up? That's me. Hey.
What is the Game Club? The Game Club is where we pick a game and we play through it week by week, a section at a time, and then we take a moment to discuss that section in this very podcast that you're watching or listening to. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have watched or listened to the previous episodes. If you haven't, go ahead and check them out. We know you will enjoy them. But even if you haven't, if you want to stick around, let's do a little recap for everybody. Last week's episode, what we had to do was we had to bring the documents that we fished out of the waterfall to Harry. We got those documents to Harry. He took us on a little bit of a history lesson. We got to see what the Raincoat Killer was 50 years ago, and there was this absolutely crazy town event where everyone went insane and started killing each other because this gas was leaked out into the town. Afterward, we had to search Thomas's apartment because Thomas had been spotted. That's right, he had been found. Thomas is our number one suspect. So we went to his apartment. We found out that man likes to dress like a woman. Finally, we had to go to Carol's bar, the Galaxy of Terror, where we had a run-in with the Raincoat Killer. We managed to survive, but when we found the locket that we've been looking for this whole entire time, that's right, the locket that Anna had in her hand, we were knocked out from behind. Straight karate chop. And it turned out to be the cross-dressing Thomas McClane.
Oh, not related to John McClane.
No, definitely not.
Come to the coast, we'll have a couple of drinks, get a few lifts.
And then we were left off with a beautiful song, and I put beautiful in quotation marks, as Thomas danced the night away and the chapter ended.
I will say
Just wanna have fun.
this game is totally set up for how we're doing this. Like with the chapter cutoffs, with the episode cutoffs, to just have
It's
those
perfect.
cliffhangers. Like it's like you're watching episodes of TV, which is
Right. It's
kinda
great.
This week, we had to play to the end of episode 4. That was 2 chapters. We had to play chapter 21 and chapter 22. Guys, you know what question is coming?
Yes.
Did you enjoy this section?
John, I'm gonna have you go first. Because I have the shortest answer.
I liked half of it, at least.
I loved this chapter. Personally, I loved it. And you guys will see why. I enjoyed most of it. Probably more than the last 2, I would say. Honestly.
John, what would you say? More than the last 2?
I feel like the first half kind of very annoying. I guess I would put it on the same par as two chapters. I don't want to say chapters, but 2 of our episodes ago, where it's just like really annoying, and then counteracted by really, really good stuff that I liked. So
Wow. Hold on. That's in the podcast forever. John said counteracted by not just good stuff, not just really good stuff, but really, really good stuff. That's what John just
I think
said.
I said really good stuff. that
No,
I liked.
you said really
good
twice.
stuff that I liked. I didn't say really, really good stuff.
You said really, really good stuff.
Devon, what'd you hear?
I blacked out for a second because I was thinking this. So I honestly didn't hear what you said, but yeah. You could have said you could have said really good stuff that I liked, which honestly, putting a like in there kind of adds a really.
Well, fuck you both. All right. Maybe I did say really, really good stuff.
There it is.
But I'll say a part that was just fucking ridiculous. That was
Ridiculously awesome.
It's just so this game is so fucking weird. It's just so weird.
Well, let's find out how weird it is by diving in to the first chapter, chapter 21. Let's do it, guys. We kick this one off with Little York running in the woods after his dad. All you got to do is run forward as Little York. You got to keep on going. You got to follow your dad. This part, super easy, super simple. What's annoying about it?
Everything.
Just how slow he runs.
I won't even say that. I won't even say everything's annoying, because if it was just you running down this long path without any other interruption or anything going on, I'd be fine. I'd just say, okay, I'm running down this long path. What really annoyed me about it was having to hear, "Dad? Dad?
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late."
And then you hear that over and over and over again.
Why is that?
What
because it takes so fucking long to go down the stupid for no reason. There's literally no reason that you're running so much in this section.
I feel like there's other games that do stuff like this too, and it's irritating as well. But I feel like in those games, other stuff's going on, whereas in this one there's just nothing going on like around you, right? It's just the same shit that you're staring at.
That's the thing. If you were passing by stuff like past memories or something like that, okay,
Right.
like that would have been fine. You're just going down this path, following your dad, and be like, "Dad, Daddy," and he's like, "It's just, it was so stupid. It went on forever. It felt like, oh."
Funny thing was, York's dad just disappeared on me because I was keeping up with him, and then he just straight up disappeared on my screen, just vanished.
Sounds like my dad. No, I'm just kidding.
You mean
This part did remind me of chasing Anna in the street, where she made you do a circle for no reason. You could have gone left at that intersection instead of going right and doing that whole section again.
especially if your game crashes and then you got to do it all over again?
Yeah,
It's fun.
exactly.
It's funny you say that, though. It's almost foreshadowing of a future event in the same chapter. That was really annoying and could have been half the time.
Little York makes it all the way to the end of the path. He doesn't know where to go. He can't find his dad. And a hand with painted fingernails out of nowhere comes up, brushes his hair, pets his head. He looks up, and who is it? None other than Bay.
I was
Emily.
just thinking that, bro. Get out of my head. I was literally just thinking Bay. I was about to say it too. I fucking hate you.
It's
Wow.
Emily in her red dress. She asks York,
Are you okay?
and
I
she's
know.
standing there smiling. York feels comfortable at this moment. And then he sees Willie. Willie is next to Emily. Willie runs up, wagging his tail, jumps on York, starts licking him. York is laughing. He's having a great time. York is happy. What a reassuring dream sequence, huh, guys? York's dream then changes very quickly. He is back in the red room. The twin angels are sitting there, and behind them are Anna, Becky, and Diane. Diane's even holding a Forrest Kaysen doll,
So weird.
right?
So weird.
Very weird. Does
Super
that mean
weird.
anything?
Could.
Who knows? The twins look at York and say,
You are waiting here for someone, aren't you?
The person you are waiting for will be here soon.
the twins look up. York follows suit, and up above them is the upside down peace sign. Or is it
I
a
didn't even put
tree?
that together.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No. I was looking at the stupid leaves that are falling.
After York is done looking at the upside down peace mark, there's something that happens. The tree to the right of him cracks open, and this liquid starts pouring out, and we can only assume that it is blood. He walks over to it confidently, and then the camera just jerks out of control, falls on the ground, and the camera is looking up at the tree, and blood just keeps pouring onto the camera.
I was actually super impressed by this part. Like
Yes.
it looked really cool.
Like the cinematography and everything.
Yeah, like the blood coming out looked fairly realistic, and it was good.
With the pools of blood, Grandpa wakes up. It's Grandpa with little Emily. This is the grandpa-granddaughter segments of the game. She wakes up her grandfather saying,
That's enough napping for today. Tell me the rest of the story.
Grandpa agrees to do it, and he looks at the necklace that he's holding in his hand. That's Emily's necklace. That is the one that we noticed was on the table from a previous cutscene between these two. He decides to give that necklace to little Emily.
Consider it a protective charm, like a signpost. It will help to lead you through your life.
A signpost?
One day, my dear, you will find out one of the truths of this world. That the world is filled with contradiction and inequality. When that day comes, how you respond, what you do, that will be the instant that determines the value of your life. This pendant will show you the way in that moment.
The value of my life?
Yes, dear, the value of your life. I have faith that you will grow up into a woman who can make the right choices. Do you understand, Emily?
This is York, right?
Yes.
This is the reveal that this is York.
Yes.
It is York.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude,
Grandpa.
It is.
It is York. It's Grandpa
Right.
York. They do a wide shot, and you can clearly see that this is York. How do you guys feel about that?
Dude, fucked me up a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell's going on in this
Same.
shit.
I
I
don't
like
know.
that little mustache he's got going on though. I'm gonna.
He's not a good. I think.
I get old.
I
I'm
think.
gonna rock that.
I think what kind of gave it away was the tie on the teddy bear. I don't know if we've seen the teddy bear before, but I think the tie on the teddy bear kind of gave it away.
It's a red
It's
tie?
like it's
Yeah,
like
it's red
red with white stripes and stuff like that.
Wow, that's his tie.
Yes.
Nice pickup. Devon
Thank you.
over here saying, I could never be a cop. I don't pick up on the small things.
There it is, dude.
So this is my thought when I first saw this. It can be one of two things. Obviously, the most logical explanation is this is old man York. He's talking about something that happened in the past. The other way you can look at it as, and this is where it gets fucking funky, is that this is young Emily of the Emily we know, and somehow there's some sort of like weird like time loop type thing, which you'd be like, oh, that's like stupid, John, why would you think that? But there's something that was said, I want to say in this chapter, that kind of it said something about basically like things reoccurring and coming back again, and I was like, I can't write anything off in this fucking game. Like, they're gonna have time travel in this fucking game. I don't know. Like the whole thing of like him giving her the fucking necklace, but that turns into her as having that in the future, which is really the past. Like I don't know, dude.
That would actually be
That'd be pretty dope.
crazy. Holy shit. My mind blew up. What did you guys think of what Grandpa York told little Emily about the value of her life?
I feel like he's hinting at something, right? That something possibly could happen. I mean, York says it a lot.
Happen or happened? Because this is
So that's the
Grandpa
thing.
York.
That's the thing, right?
Right.
And that's where it lends to
Right.
both sides, right? He could be saying it in a very generic way, thinking about his own past and maybe something that he did, as far as like there's going to be something that comes in your life where you need to do that, or he's lived it and he knows what's going to happen and he's telling her ahead of time.
This
as far
was
as, like this is how it's going down. All right.
wow. I just had a revelation. This is kind of like his own way of saying what his dad says, right? But flipping it a different way, I think. I don't know if I'm reading into it too much, but like the whole purging thing and all that stuff, like everything's going to lead up to you making choices and things like that, and everything's going to happen based off that. Damn, man.
The fucking York life advice is terrible.
fucking game is wild.
Hold on a second. I know this isn't gonna be how it goes, right? But what I said before, you're not seeing Daddy York's face, right? What if, oh man, what if it is York, right? And he has like these iterations of him going through fucking life, right? So he's like purge people, you might have to purge the ones you love, commit suicide, right? Now he's an old person still passing down, it's each time he's going through his iteration, his advice is like slightly changing as to what it is. Oh god, why? Oh, I just want to know what's going on. I don't know. It's not, but I wish it was. I'm a sucker for time loops and shit like that.
I love
That's why you love
John's
Demolition Man. So
I love
much.
John's outlook because
I
he's
want to
like
like this game so much, but I feel like it's just gonna disappoint me.
I love John's outlook because He looks at the military portion of this and says, "That's stupid, but I would totally dig time travel."
100%. 100%.
That's
100%.
true. That's so true.
Oh,
Totally.
it's great. It's great.
Don't judge me, Pete.
I'm not judging. I actually love it. I think that's hilarious. The cutscene between Grandpa York and little Emily ends, and we transition to York tied up in this creepy room.
There's the tie.
That's right. He's wearing the tie with the red and the stripes. The tie that's around the teddy bear.
Let's go.
Nice pickup. Nice pickup. York is tied to a chair. He's blindfolded. He looks up and says,
We come toward the climax. As the angel said, I was soon fated to meet him. What do you think of those dreams, Zach? So I do care for Emily. What about you?
that's the big realization that he comes to, that he cares about Emily. He likes her. He really, really likes her. We then move over to a cutscene between George, Emily, and Forrest Kaysen. They're in the room underneath the Galaxy of Terror where York was knocked out. The bondage room. It turns out they found this room because Kaysen saw York head into the Galaxy of Terror.
If I hadn't seen York come into the bar, well, you wouldn't have found this place, would you? Now, how about that? I guess I've always been lucky when luck was needed. That's why I've been able to stay in business, too.
Why was he...
Well, I guess when you see, for instance, York Morgan just fucking randomly strolling around the fucking streets in Greenville, might take note of it.
Right.
Chasing around so, Anna? Is that you, Anna?
George and Emily stand there. They're not impressed. But you have to know, when I say that Kaysen found this room, it wasn't Kaysen that found this room.
True.
It was the good old Dalmatian, Willie.
Although we have Willie to thank for finding this room, I suppose. He's got a great nose. Clever, too. He'd be a great businessman if he wanted to be.
Willie is the fucking man, bro. He is a better detective than everyone here.
Willie's a G.
Besides
He's also a
Francis York.
fucking killer. I'll tell you that. He's a murderer.
Why did Kaysen want to tell George and Emily where this room was?
I owed you guys one anyway, and I owed York big time, too. You guys didn't tell anyone about that whole thing with Diane. I want to help you guys out. Is there anything I can do?
Kaysen, I appreciate the offer. But this is a police matter.
Kaysen still wants to help out any way he can, but George is against it.
I love the pictures in the background are just like rendered enough so you know that there's women, but like you can't tell anything that's going on.
Funny enough, John, there are porn magazines in this game.
Is
Yep.
there?
Yep.
Where at?
You can find them
Yeah, they-
left around the town.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's super weird.
Better find you a couple, I'm just saying.
Emily notices something on the floor.
George, look. These cigarettes. They're the same brand that York smokes. He's definitely been here.
Carol's been missing since the bar closed last night. This town will be deserted if this keeps up.
What do you think is really happening here in Greenvale?
George and Emily have no idea what's going on, but they decide that they need to find York. That's what they need to focus on. Luckily, the nose of a very trusty hound can do just that by sniffing the cigarette. Willie runs over to Emily, starts sniffing the cigarette, and Kaysen realizes that Willie could help them out.
Hey, Willie, of course! You can track his scent, can't you, boy? What do you think, officers? Let him help you out, why don't you? Oh, he'd make a fine police dog.
I don't think Dalmatians are hunting dogs, though. I mean, I get it.
I had the same thought. I was like, are Dalmatians really known for
They're
their
They're
like
not.
scent?
George is not on board with Kaysen helping out. He is totally against it, but Emily doesn't care.
I told you we don't need...
Sounds good, Kaysen. We need all the help we can get. Come on, George. Let's let them help us.
But they are civilians.
Do you have a better plan? As we speak, York might be...
Wait, who's the police chief here? Emily's calling orders. I wouldn't have been down with that if I was George.
Seeing Emily distraught forces George to say,
Oh, all right. Let's have them help.
Thank you, George.
But one thing, with York missing in action, I'm back in charge. And York would give me hell if something bad happened to you guys. So promise me you'll call for backup at the first sign of danger.
Yes, of course.
I think we're missing something here. So I'm going to look around a bit longer. You go with Kaysen and follow York's trail.
Thank you, George. We're counting on you, boy. Welcome to the force, Deputy Willie.
That's the end of that cutscene, and we now enter a new string of sections where we have to follow Willie. Willie is sniffing on the ground and is going to lead us to York's location. Guys, this music is the greatest thing ever. It's so amazing.
It might have been if it didn't go on for fucking 20 minutes.
What I mean by chase down Willie is that you are playing as Emily this time around.
Mhm.
Not playing as York. Character switch up. What did you guys think of that?
I want to say I really like the change of pace as playing as Emily, right? Playing as a different character. I like that.
I don't mind the switch up. I didn't like the section that we played as the switch up. There's
The
not much
English major
difference
right there.
between playing as Emily versus York, other than you don't have a stamina meter. I
Yeah,
think.
she has unlimited stamina. She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
She's
That
a woman, Peter.
Yeah.
She's a woman. Stronger
Hey,
than men.
power to the woman, because
Yeah.
I just thought,
I wish I played as Emily the whole time. Jesus.
she doesn't get tired. She must be
Yeah.
running out every morning. Damn.
True. So I mean, it's cool to play as Emily. I guess character wise, as far as the story goes, but there's zero difference, I think, versus actual gameplay. This section was the worst section.
I will agree as
It's
well.
so bad.
You guys didn't like this section?
This might be one of the worst sections of the game. Period.
See, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. To me, chasing Anna in the street was way worse than this.
At least it was like half the time, and it was all connected. So this is the problem with this section, right? You'd run for a certain portion, then the game would somehow not think that you were following Willie because Kaysen was so far behind, and then he'd be like,
Hey, where are you going? Deputy Willie, he's over here. Come on, hurry.
you'd follow Willie, and then it would switch up and go to, which we'll see in a little bit, but it'll go to York tied up and having like a first person perspective, and that's all good and fine. But like there was just too many changes in this, because there's times during this where you're chasing Willie where it'd be like, oh, you stop and you talk to Kaysen and get some background on some stuff with him, or that it would go to York and then it would come back to you chasing Willie, and then he'd be like, hey, you need to catch up with Willie, he's over here, and then it would be like, oh, we're gonna get some stupid background on Emily. It was just like way too much back and forth. Like I don't want to chase a dog around the city. I think they could have done something very similar and less flipping back and forth.
My game crashed twice during this sequence. So
Damn.
once at the beginning before you even started, and then once halfway through.
That
I
sucks.
stepped away from my desk for a little bit,
That sucks a lot.
and then I came back.
0 crashes this time around for me. Not a single
Me too.
crash. It
Me
worked
too.
perfectly fine. 2 episodes in a row for John. 0 crashes.
Hey.
John?
Yeah.
I agree with you that Kaysen telling you, hey, you gotta follow Willie, he's over here, was really annoying, because every time it happened, I thought, I was right next to Willie. I don't understand
Exactly.
what's going on.
Exactly.
But I didn't think this section was that annoying or bad, because I enjoyed going back and forth between learning a little bit about these characters, seeing York tied up. I thought it was a good story building episode, or at least a character building episode. And I thought you were going to like it because there were no mysterious shadow portions at the beginning of this. There was no raincoat killer QuickTime events. It was just head from point A to point B, straight linear path. I thought John is going to be so relieved to know he doesn't have to explore anything.
Here's the thing. Maybe if this was 10 years from when the game came out and they had it like developed in the way it was like all preloaded and it would be like boom, 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 boom. But the fact that you'd go to like a loading screen and then go into the next section and then it kind of have something that was nonsensical, didn't really matter to me. It didn't really matter. I know it's giving background to some character stuff, but it was like, okay, that I didn't really care about that. And then it would be like loading screen. Okay, back to now chasing Willie. Oh, great. It was super annoying. I ended up trying to shoot Kaysen a bunch.
Oh my God.
Which you can. And he doesn't die. He just like ducks as if he's dodging bullets like fucking the Matrix.
Suspect.
But, yeah.
How is
totally
he dodging?
him,
How is he dodging bullets?
Oh no, I'm just shooting him right in his fucking gut, and he's just like he still does this like weird like arch forward. It's like okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the first cutscene during this sequence. Willie stops to sniff the ground, and Emily and Kaysen are standing behind him, and they start talking about dogs. They start talking about how good a dog Willie is.
He can be a little selfish, but he's a good dog. He stayed with me all this time, through all the good and the bad.
How long have you been together?
Oh, we go back a long time. I can't even remember a time when he wasn't around.
Willie is a good dog.
He's a good dog.
You're a good dog, Willie. You're a good dog.
Who's the prettiest boy of them all? Wait.
Turns out, Emily had a dog of her own. It was a beagle.
He hated being left alone and always followed me around. I could tell him anything, even things I couldn't tell my parents. He'd look into my eyes and listen intently to anything I had to say. It's like he sympathized, and he didn't make fun of me. He would just listen. When I was done talking, he'd put a paw on my thigh. My worries just faded away when he did that. Made me feel like I was just a fool for worrying so much. Dogs are great that way.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I think they got a lot more wisdom than us humans. Even if they are betrayed, well, they don't see it that way. Sure sounds foolish, but you know dogs, why, they're always happy.
What do you guys think of their dog conversation?
It's true.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, though. It's this fluff bullshit that I don't need. This goddamn.
But it's true, man. Everyone says that they trust. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You've always heard people say, like, I mean, I say it all the time.
At this point in the game, we're at the cusp of finding out who the killer is. I don't need to know about who thinks dogs are great and that, you know, fucking the dog put a paw on Emily's fucking leg, looking into her eyes.
Yeah, but
don't care.
This dog has done so much, John.
That's fine. I don't care.
But it's not just about that beagle. It's also about Willie. Because Willie is doing so much for everybody.
Yes, he's a good dog. I don't need a cutscene to know this. I feel this in my bones already. All right, let's go. I'm following Willie. Willie, go.
Haven't you played a Metal Gear game, John? When they talk about, you know, pulling each other's ears in the Olympics? Because apparently that's something in their past that they feel the need to bring up before a fight.
It's true.
Didn't need that either. Right?
People trust animals more than they trust humans.
With good reason. With very good reason.
This is very true.
Good reason.
Willie picks the scent back up, and you're off again, listening to this great freaking music. What do you guys think of the music?
I think the soundtrack is just great to this game, right? No matter what, man. No matter what. It's just great. You were right. There's some tracks in here you're just going to be like, all right.
Yeah, I pictured it as a lost track from Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Mm.
Oh god, it would have been fine. It just kept going. It was so bad. I was like, how are you gonna be 13 hours into a game and hit me with some new music? It's like some bullshit, man.
That's how they do.
It's so true.
You use the same music for fucking so long, and then at the worst time you introduce the newest song. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Oh, this game hurts me.
They just want to. They just want to see if you're paying attention, John. That's it.
Oh my god.
After a certain point of following Willie, we hit a loading screen, and we are now with York. We are seeing through York's point of view. He is blindfolded, but you can still see between the threads. And someone walks into the room. You hear the door unlock, open up, and a figure walks in. Who is that figure? It is our favorite man-woman, Thomas. He walks in, hips swaying, still wearing the dress.
Thomas, I know that you're there. Your disposition is not of my concern. But you do need to stop this. Untie me. Let me go. Right now.
That blindfold isn't doing shit, by the way.
No, you can see through the... Like I said, York can see through the threads. York is unfazed by Thomas's disposition and says,
And you and Carol should take off. Go as far away as you can. Open a bar or a diner in a new town. With your cooking, I know you do well.
Thomas leans in and says,
Why, thank you, York. You're so kind. Unlike him.
So right here, when he said that, what I thought, because of what I've been thinking kind of throughout this whole thing, is that York has like a split personality. Thomas has experienced York and then other York. And it's like, oh, you're so nice, unlike him, meaning his other side. But everything else has pointed to other things. This game just depresses me. I just want to know the end. That's it. I don't know.
John, you look so defeated right now.
I am. I just
He does. He's just like,
this is what I'll say, is playing this game in chapters has made me play it as long as I have. But now I just want to fucking finish it. I just want to play it and just be done. I want to know what happens.
How disturbing was it when he leaned in super close like that?
I was like, please, I do not want to hear any noises. Because if I heard like zip, I was gonna be like, oh, well, you never know, bro. You don't know. I was fucking worried, man. I was scared.
I felt the digital breath on my neck. Just
Get away from me. Did you brush your teeth this morning?
Thomas asks York.
York, have you ever been in love with someone?
Thomas, a long time ago, I witnessed two people that I really cared about die. Both pretty much at the same time. And since then, I've tried not to care about anyone so deeply. But recently, that way of thinking has changed.
Emily, right?
Thomas knows who York is in love with. York listens to Thomas's words and tells him,
Thomas, considering the circumstances, whatever I say might not be important to you, but I'll say it anyways. Don't you dare touch Emily.
Thomas isn't fazed by York's threat.
Everything will end tonight. You just stay there until then.
He slowly walks out of the room, swaying his hips, and then opens the door exactly like York. Whenever York opens up a door, just straight opens it, looks through, and then walks on by.
I did not notice that. That's hilarious. I didn't notice all the doors, no matter what kind of door, open and sound the same when they.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Except for one, and we will get to that.
Oh, dude, I did a fucking face plant on that door.
What do you guys think of that scene?
Thomas is kind of fucked up, right? In the head. He's more.
That's a kind way of putting
it. He's more worried about. He's more worried about what this other person will do to him than what the law will do to him, right? Than what like York would do to him or what Emily would do to him. He's like more worried about this person. So this person's gonna be like fucking some serious business.
But is he worried or is he jealous?
Maybe a little bit of both, but maybe more on the jealous side. I didn't think about that. Man, that's good.
So, I mean, I took this as like his whole police officer day job is just a guise to cover his nightlife activities of cross-dressing and helping out whoever this is. Gameplay wise, I thought it was actually kind of cool when they went to the first person perspective with the blindfold on. I like that. I thought it was neat. I just think they went to the well too many times.
I mean, I enjoyed the York sections. You definitely learned a lot about his feelings for Emily. Whereas with Kaysen, Emily, and Willie, you definitely get some of those conversations where you say, why are you talking about this right now?
Exactly.
But I love the music.
Oh, God. I can't even think of it right now, and I'm very happy that I can't think of it. I was happy to see the phone, though. I will tell you that.
Always be saving, baby.
Always be saving.
That's right. Willie leads you right to a phone.
He's the man, dude.
Willie is a great dog. Willie knew right away. Ran right up to that phone thinking, hey, you best use this because your game might crash.
And then the vines come up over the phone, which when I was like, oh, no. Is Emily going to start seeing shit? What's going on?
We get another cutscene with Emily, Willie, and Kaysen. And Kaysen is feeling a little down.
I promised to have tea with Polly. I just remembered.
What's that got to do with anything?
Yep, you're right. This just isn't the time, I know. But well, she reminds me of my mother who passed away.
Kaysen.
I've been a salesman for a long, long time. I never had time to talk with my mother, you know. Sales, they were the thing for me. No matter what happened, this was more important. So even when she was sick, I put more energy into my work, which I regret now. And you know, when I heard she died, I was on my way home, all happy. I closed a big deal in Jersey. Just when you want to give something back, you got no one to give it back to. Well, that's when I met her, Polly. I thought heaven had given me another chance. I really did.
He tries to treat Polly like the mother he lost.
This is the same bullshit I'm talking about.
I'm with John on this one. You can't replace your own mom, man. You know, you just can't.
No, not even with Polly, second place in the beauty pageant of Greenville.
No. She was a bad bitch back then, but now, no. Sorry, Polly, you ain't got nothing on my mama.
This is all stuff they could have done earlier on. I don't need it at this point. Like right now, we're in the end game.
They want to just tell you about the characters, John.
Oh, but now we're not following Willie enough. You know, he's going over here. It's too much all at once.
What if this will play a factor?
Ooh,
well,
got your ass, motherfucker.
This is not good storytelling, then. Make it matter now instead of later.
Sometimes you're told something that you don't know will matter.
Not in this bullshit,
until it will later.
I know. Don't worry, fucking. Forrest is still on my list of people. I'm not convinced he's not off. I'm seriously in between George, Forrest, and York. Those three guys have been on my list the whole fucking time, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Is Tillotson off your list?
Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
Remember what I said?
Damn it! The fucking no. That blew my mind. This game, I just want to know at the end. I want it to wash over me and just fucking just cleanse me with the answer. I just want to know.
John just wants to see the credits roll and just breathe a sigh of relief.
I honestly feel like this is what I feel like. Honest to God, if I know the ending, I feel like I could replay this game and have more fun with it.
Damn.
Wow.
I don't know. I just feel like knowing it, and the fact that, you know, backing up with what you said, Pete, as far as like the crumbs are there, it's layered throughout. You know, I know Ken Rose had a good time, obviously playing it through numerous times. Knowing what happens, I feel like it's more of that's the enjoyment of playing the game versus figuring it out. Because right now it's fucking annoying. I'll tell you that. Super annoying.
I think it's just annoying, John, because you can't map it down like you could a cliche, not a cliche, but a typical mystery or plot twisting story where you could say, hey, you know, I saw that. I got it. I know what's going to happen here.
Yeah,
this one is still throwing you for loops.
I know. Well, this is the thing is like, is a good story one that you can see coming and still that it's good, or one that it's like it's so open-ended that you don't know who it is? You know, it's tough because it's tough. I can appreciate this story. I can appreciate the fact that we are this many hours into it and that I'm still guessing who it is, right? But I feel like with it being this far in, we should have some inkling of what's going on. And I feel like it's still very open-ended.
We just might, John.
Oh, yeah.
We just might. We're back with York. He's blindfolded still, and he's talking about how he's hungry.
Zach, I'm hungry, but I can't do much about that at the moment. Thomas is certainly a great cook. It's a shame to keep his cooking hidden out here in the countryside. Don't you think so, Zach?
Ugh.
Which reminds me, there's another great cook in town. To fall in love with her would mean that I would need to love her cooking, too. Why does God test us so, I wonder?
He makes some comments about her cooking, but you can tell that he does really care for her.
Oh, he loves that girl, man. But you know what happens to the people that we love?
What happens, Devon?
You have to purge them?
Have to purge them.
We have to chase Willie yet again as Emily. And we come across another cutscene where Kaysen tells us that he doesn't think Nick killed Diane.
It's only a hunch now, but I don't think Nick killed Diane.
What do you mean?
Me and Diane, we were, pretty close. Sure, some people might have moral issues about it all, but I'd like to think that I knew her pretty well. Every time we finished talking, she'd bring up art. I'd make a face, boring. And she'd always say, "You're so different from Nick. He's so much more intelligent."
Sounds like something she'd say.
Nick was one of the few people who she could talk to, And vice versa for Nick, I suppose. Diane also told me that she was best friends with Nick. He'd have nothing at all to gain by killing her. I can't believe that one would try to kill the other. I just can't.
Now, after Kaysen says that, how can you not think Nick and Diane fucked?
They had to have.
See, I still somehow do not believe that they did. I don't know. It's weird. Believe me, I'm the first person to be like, yeah, men and women can't be platonic friends. But for some reason, I really think their connection was friendship through the art.
Oh yeah, he Picasso'd her face all right. Man, I'm being real, bro.
There's another reason why he doesn't think it was Nick that killed Diane.
Still, the voices and footsteps I heard that night, they were something else. Much more violent, more horrifying. Diane's voice sounded different, too. Different. Hard to explain. Of course, I couldn't make out what she was saying.
Which is weird because he said he only heard footsteps before, right?
Now he's saying
Now
he
he's saying
heard
voices?
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, I don't
A little
trust
bit
him.
of a different story now. Willie is ready to go again, so the three are off. We then go back to York, blindfolded, and he's still thinking about Emily. This man is lovesick.
Mm-hmm.
He's caught up. Got me feeling it's caught up.
Caught the love bug.
Zach, about Emily. Don't you feel almost nostalgic looking at her? I don't think I've ever felt that way looking at a woman before. No, I'm wrong. It's a long time ago now, though. Do you remember that incident, Zach? Anyways, I was very surprised when she came to my hotel room. Not in a funny way, don't get me wrong. It was really exciting, though. I thought I heard my heart thumping inside, It's inappropriate during an investigation. Right, Zach?
After that cutscene with York, we're back to chasing Willie.
John's favorite part.
I do give props for Kaysen for keeping up. That man can run. He can move.
Dude, Emily can fucking run. I was doing circles around Willie, dude. I was letting him go up. I was doing circle around him. He'd catch back up, doing circles. She has that cardio up.
She does.
Hey.
Good on her.
She passed that PT test, let me tell you. Kaysen then asks,
Are you close to the Ingrams?
No, I always say hi when I see them at their store.
Don't you think they make a wonderful family?
I guess so. Including Jim, I suppose they do.
Indeed they do. The ideal family, I'd say. You know that I look after Isaac and Isaiah pretty often, right? They talk a lot when I take them out. Yesterday, Mama and Papa, and this morning, Grandpa. Always about their family. Just listening to them makes me feel so happy. I don't have any brothers, you know. Maybe I'm a little jealous of those two. That's why when I come here, I always pay them a visit. Greenvale is really like a second home to me.
I can tell.
Oh, good old Kaysen. He has a heart.
Heart of gold.
Heart of gold.
But Willie doesn't care about that because Willie's like, let's go, guys. Come on. We're back with York, who's still talking about Emily.
For some reason in the darkness, I see Emily's face. When I first met her on the bridge, she looked so dignified. And that glimmer in her eyes when she argues every word I say. Her blonde hair lit by the dawn. Eating steak at the diner. Giving me directions in the car. Horror on her face in the gallery. And that coffee she made. And it's like she's a goddess in a tight dress. Zach, let's pray that she doesn't become a real goddess.
This is how I feel like this is how you know some shit's gonna happen, man.
York hopes that she doesn't become a goddess. Even though she looks like a goddess in that dress, though.
What that dress do, ma? I wanna see the dress hit the bottom of my flow.
And then we're back with Willie and Kaysen and Emily.
And it's raining.
It is raining. And while it's raining, the three make it to their destination. Willie shows Emily and Kaysen where York is, and they have arrived at the clock tower. Emily is ecstatic to know that York is here, and even does this weird animation where she puts her hands together. Kind of like that schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is this where I'm going today?
Willie, York is nearby?
Good job, Willie. Can we stop running now, please?
We're here, boys. We're at the clock tower.
We made it.
We made it. York is tied up inside, and we need to find him. Emily radios to George, but she can't get in contact with him. Seems like communication is down. The radios aren't working. She tells Kaysen,
Kaysen, I'm going in alone.
Hey, you didn't forget what George said.
No, I haven't. And that's why you get to stay out here and keep trying to contact him. I'm just going to check things out. I'll stay out of danger. Trust me.
Okay, if you say so. I'll take care of this here.
She's acting more and more like York every day.
Dude, I was ready for her to pull the York and just start tapping her fucking collar.
Emily walks up the steps, draws her pistol, aims at the brick wall for some odd reason.
Yes.
And then we get a loading screen and we get to go inside. Inside, Emily sees something. And not just any old thing. No, she sees a mysterious shadow. She draws her weapon. She shoots at the mysterious shadow. It's unaffected. Guys, what do you think about Emily seeing the mysterious shadows?
She's in this world now, man.
Dude, why did it take until now? She's been living in this fucking area for God knows how long.
Anytime it rains, they all go inside, though.
But she's inside right now.
But she was outside being affected by the rain, John.
But she's been outside while it's been raining, while we've watched this whole story play out.
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement.
It's just weird right now.
I don't know. I thought it was cool.
No, I don't mind it. I just don't like. I don't know. It just.
I mean, I
didn't
guess
really
I can
match
see
up
where you're coming from. Yeah.
If you have an asshole mind like mine, and you pick shit apart. You know, that's what you're gonna do.
All right.
Do you think maybe she's going crazy?
For York?
Maybe it runs in
could
the
be.
family. Maybe a granddaughter.
Very incestuous if we're going down
that's
that
very
route.
gross. Very gross. York's a gross man. Yeah, I didn't mind that she was seeing it. That was just my first question. I was like, this is the first time that you're seeing it out of all the times you've been outside in the rain?
Maybe she's seen them before, but the only person she could talk to was her beagle.
But she hasn't. The way she reacted in this cutscene, it was...
I'm just throwing shit out there, dude.
It was definitely the first time she saw it. But let's rewind back to Diane's art gallery when York had to run outside all the way around to get inside the shed. Emily had to take that same exact path and didn't say anything about, hey, there were like weird zombie creatures out there. Did you happen to run across them as well?
I don't know, man. This is what makes me mad about this game is I don't know how much weight to put into everything that I see. It makes me mad because I want to give it the respect that I hear about, but then there's like shit where I'm like, little continuity issues, but it's okay. We'll see.
Before anything had happened with that mysterious shadow, we go back to York's blindfold section. Man, woman, Thomas walks on in. He tells York,
York, Emily is here. Time to say goodbye then.
Thomas, let me tell you one more time. It's not too late. I can help you. Just untie me and let me go. If you don't, the situation will be irreversible, unfixable.
York, no situation is reversible. Didn't you know that? Everyone, everything proceeds along a path preordained by fate.
Thomas walks toward the door, but before he leaves, he turns around and says one more thing.
Goodbye then. I wonder who'll be the next person to open this door. Well, whoever that person is will be the one to decide your fate.
Oh, Thomas, it won't be a person who opens up that door.
You're a good boy. He's a good boy.
We then get to play a mysterious shadow section with Emily. We have to climb this clock tower. We have to get to the top. And along the way, there are several mysterious shadows. How do you guys do?
It's pretty easy. It wasn't bad. Dude, she moves pretty fucking fast.
And her gun holds 19 bullets.
I know. This wasn't bad at all. It reminded me of Metal Gear with the
God. Yeah, I
with the
didn't even
turrets.
think about that. Fuck.
Climbing up the tower?
But with the shadows instead.
This wasn't bad at all. This is the first portion I've actually shot the barrels, the explosive barrels.
Wow.
I hadn't done that before.
I don't know if it was my second time or first time, but I did take heed of the barrels. Makes it a lot easier.
What made you shoot the barrel?
Well, you kept bringing it up, and actually, I was streaming this, and Kemro was like, you can shoot the barrels, and I was like, I know. I usually just like try to get the headshots, and then it came up to the portion I think at the end of the stairwell. You hit a group of them, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot the barrels.
Not a tough section, but definitely a fun one, I think.
Yeah. This is where I like being Emily. I think it was kind of cool going into her perspective, try to save York.
Just before you make it to the top of the clock tower, there's a room with a phone, a bed, and an infinite amount of medkits.
What?
If you pick up the medkit and walk away, it pops right back up again. So you can just keep on going back and fill your inventory.
Like the goddamn lollipops in certain sections.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
So after I filled my inventory, both toolbox and personal inventory, I saved and then headed on up to the top floor of the clock tower.
200 IQ right there.
We head on to the next room. There are gears all over the place. There's a platform in the middle of the room that Emily walks onto, and we get a cutscene. Probably the best looking cutscene in the game, in all honesty.
I would agree with that. I said, ooh, a fancy cutscene. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Emily draws her weapon, aims it, and Thomas is on top of one of the gears. He turns around in his dress and aims his gun back at Emily.
Thomas, you've got nowhere to run now. Just surrender yourself.
Emily, I've been waiting for you.
Where's York? Is he okay?
He's quite the handsome one, isn't he? I liked him the moment I saw him. He likes someone else, of course. Who do you think that is?
I'm asking you if he is okay. Answer me.
Oh, yes. He is handsome. But me and Carol, we love not him, but a different person. My lovely G.
And at this point, you get a nice solid shot of his tattoo. It says, Love G. Who could the G be?
Obviously, George is the first person that comes to mind.
Goddamn Gina.
Cut the crap. Do you know what you're doing?
Why, yes, I do. All too well. Far better than you do, I think. You know nothing about yourself, nor this town.
Please don't make me shoot you.
You're a silly, sad little woman. We're heading for devastation. All of us. And no one can stop it.
Oh, Thomas. You're sick. But there's still time. We can get you help. I'll help you.
You're too kind, Emily. As kind as a goddess. That's why he likes you. This town is soiled, and only you are shining in it.
That's right, Thomas. Let's just leave here together.
It was so much better back then. We had so much fun. Emily, that was before you came. I won't let you have him. You filthy pig!
Thomas gets pissed off. And guess what, guys?
Tell me.
We have our first boss fight of the game, an actual boss fight, and not even as York.
Yeah.
We're playing a different character for our first boss fight.
True.
Damn, that's crazy.
When this kicked off, what did you guys think when you saw that it was a boss fight?
I did think, wow, it's kind of far into the game as a boss fight. But like you said, I was like, huh. And we're not even really the main character either. We're playing Emily, who, I mean, at this point now, she's very important. So I guess she's coming to be close to a main character, but not as important as York is, right? Other than that, I mean, the fight was pretty dope. I enjoyed it. It wasn't hard by any means. Like, this was probably my favorite part of the whole section that we had to play, honestly.
I really like this. I didn't even think about it, Emily being the person that's participating in this. I honestly didn't even notice the health bar that Thomas had. I was too focused on trying to actually aim on him. With my aiming issues, it was like trying to lock on and like shoot, trying to lock on and shoot, try to evade all this stuff. I had some problems with the game because there was definitely some glitch issues where like they give you the quick time event in there to dodge some of his attacks. My B button, anytime the prompt came up with the B button, I would hit the B button and it would not dodge anything. So I had to replace that with hitting the right trigger.
Yep. I remember you saying that in the
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For some reason, because like the back button, the right trigger, like if I'm in the menus, it's right trigger to back out. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. I'm not questioning it. It's just the way it is. But I figured out after like the third time that the right trigger, when the B button prompt comes in, I hit the right trigger. But yeah, it was fun. I liked having the boss battle. It was cool. I wish they kind of did that more, but in hindsight, it's actually nice not having more because it kind of makes it special.
I agree with that. Yeah. I actually think because we haven't come across a situation like this before, this being the first one, the surprise of it is nice.
Right.
It's almost refreshing.
Yeah. Especially this far into the game, it's a new scenario for the character and a new scenario for the player, and you're just ready to go. I'm here. Okay, cool. This is a boss fight. Let's do it.
Exactly.
Totally down.
Thomas jumps from gear to gear, spinning around, twirling while he's on the spinning gears, takes a shot at you every now and then. You can press the button prompt to dive out of the way. You also have to worry about hooks that are dangling from the ceiling on chains.
For some reason in the clock tower, but
for some reason.
We'll bypass that. So.
Yeah. There are hooks in clock towers. Come on.
Sure.
Come on.
Sure.
Yeah. He'll throw some of those at you, and you have to dodge them. Once you put in a certain amount of damage into Thomas, you get a short little scene where he says something hilarious.
You won't have it your way. I won't let you take him. I'll show you how serious I am. I'll turn you into hamburger meat.
And then looks at the screen like a character from Emily Wants to Play.
Oh my god.
Dude, he looks like fucking Joker without makeup. Right. Mind you, he's down to turning gear and he's not moving away from the camera.
Exactly.
Just standing still.
For the second half of this boss fight, there's a lot more quick time events that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
But they're not really difficult. You have more than enough time to react.
Surprisingly, they did give you a lot of time.
Compared to some other quick time events. With the director's cut, they definitely redid a lot of the quick time events and gave more time. Yeah. Compared to the original Xbox 360 version. Thomas jumps on a hook, starts swinging around. You have to aim at him and shoot him while he's swinging around on the hook. But as long as you can do that, you're okay. Once you take enough health from him, you finish the boss fight.
I really enjoyed this part.
I loved it too, but not as much as I love the cutscene that follows it.
Hands down, top 3 greatest cutscenes in gaming history. It is so
wow, that is
so
an
good.
honor.
If I don't remember anything else from this game,
It'll be
this scene will be the one I remember.
So good.
So
It's
stupid.
so good.
Oh my god.
Thomas falters after being shot by Emily.
Thomas, don't make me shoot again. Surrender and turn yourself in.
Emily.
Thomas.
He falls to his knees, drops the gun.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's enough, Thomas. Just come over here.
Emily, I just...
I hate you so much. Die, you skanky swine.
Die, skanky swine.
From out of nowhere.
The man of the hour.
He whips out a knife, wanting to kill Emily. And from the rafters, Willie the Dalmatian jumps down and gets into a heated scuffle with Thomas.
You stinky mutt. Get away.
Thomas is swinging the knife around, but Willie is dodging and jumping at him and trying to bite him. Thomas gets one solid swing in, but Willie managed to dodge it and bite his wrist. They play a little game of tug-of-war with the struggle going back and forth. They finally let each other go, and the knife goes up into the air.
Dude, split second, I thought this knife was hitting fucking Willie, and I was gonna get pissed.
Oh,
I was gonna go,
dude.
no, Willie!
Imagine, I could have seen John's heart break if the knife hit Willie.
Movies or games where animals get injured or die, I do not care for.
Well, we don't have to worry about it in this one. Because the knife...
Once I started going back towards Thomas, dude, I was like, hell yeah.
After the slow-mo twirl that the knife does in the air, it falls and hits Thomas right in the chest. John is so excited for what comes next.
This is the most ridiculous thing ever. Oh my god.
Thomas is in a complete state of shock. He's dying and he walks toward the edge of the gear that he is standing on.
Ugh.
He falls, and we all think that he's about to hit the gears and get grounded up, right?
Into hamburger meat.
No, that is not what happens. Because as he falls, he takes a hook to the dome piece.
Ugh. So graphic, right, dude? It's like,
it's ridiculous. It's so insane.
Thomas is impaled by a hook, and not just through the stomach or anything. It's by his face.
And it's not a tiny hook. It's a thick hook.
Yeah.
It's a thick ass hook.
That thing put a hole. They put a fucking gaping hole.
He gave a new meaning to the word deep throat with that hook. If you're wondering what this scene sounded like, here it is.
Thomas!
Now, if you're wondering what John's reaction to this scene was like, here it is.
Willie's the killer.
Thomas!
Oh!
That is John's reaction to that scene.
So good.
It was way too good to not play.
Dude, it was so good. It really did take you off guard.
Dude, it's unnecessary. Like there's I feel like in these cutscenes, there's so much that happens where like you think something's going to happen and then it kind of switches up, and just like experiencing it moment to moment, especially this part, I was like, oh, he's gonna get ground, like you said, ground up in the gears. I was like, this is gonna be interesting. And then just a fucking hook to the face. It's great. It's so good.
That may have been the high point, but there's still more gold to this scene. As Kaysen walks up the clock tower,
True,
witnesses the scene and says,
Oh, is that Thomas hanging there? Oh my God. He looks like a strung up turkey.
just
Yikes.
as nonchalant as you can
Right.
be coming into this.
Doesn't give a care in the world. He's like,
Is that Thomas? Oh shit, he's got a hook in his face. Oh, he's strung up like a turkey. So what's going on, Emily? What are we doing?
why are you crying?
You want to get some burgers after?
You want a cinnamon sandwich? I heard they're pretty good.
Which honestly, that made me think he's part of the murders. So nonchalant.
we're now with York. The door opens. And as I predicted, it wasn't a person who would open up that door, because it is none other than Willie. Willie opened up the door somehow. Don't know how it works, but Willie's a smart dog. He's able to run up to York, hop on his lap, take off his blindfold, and then bite through the rope that is tied around
He's
York's
a good
wrist.
boy, Pete. All right.
He's literally the best dog anyone could ever ask for.
He's not a good boy. He's the best boy, apparently. He fought off a crazed man-woman.
Killed him.
Which Emily weirdly takes credit for the entire rest of the game. She's like, I
Right.
killed Thomas. Willie killed Thomas. Okay,
Right.
can we just get this
Right. This
completely mapped out? Willie
dog has a
fucking
body
killed
on him
Thomas.
already. Like, this dog has more street cred than all these people right now.
It might not be the first one he has on him.
You're not lying.
We're now in control of York, and we can head back down and talk to Kaysen, Emily, and Willie. Emily is on her knees. She's sad because she had to kill her friend.
Willie killed her friend.
Willie killed her friend, which she takes credit for.
Kind of weird that she tries to keep taking credit for it. Maybe she's the killer.
Imagine she just looked at Willie after that happened and been like, "You stole my kill!"
York, are you okay?
I'm fine. Got to spend some quality time with Zach. I heard gunshots. Did you get our man?
York, Thomas is dead. I shot him. He tried to kill me.
Thomas is still hanging there.
I forgot about that part.
Just chill out, hang around a little
Casually
bit.
swinging. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Thomas, why don't you swing by the station?
Oh.
Damn. I just want you guys to take a moment to remember this is the guy who Sissy ran to us when we first walked into the sheriff's department.
It's true.
Listen, you know what it is? Emily came to the town and, his lover hung him out to dry.
I mean, I can't blame the lover for choosing Emily over Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas, I suppose that this is the fate you talked about. But Emily, what about the murderer?
Let's just brush this off and continue on with the story.
Emily is confused by York's question.
I just told you I had to shoot Thomas.
Thomas's actions may have surprised you, I understand that. But our job is to catch the killer, isn't it?
York puts his hand on Emily's shoulder like, oh, honey.
Oh, dear
Emily. I love you.
Oh, simple Emily.
You didn't let the killer get away.
York, are you saying that Thomas was not responsible for the murders?
What? That makes no sense.
Emily, are you out of your mind? Thomas was certainly neck deep in this. But he didn't kill the girls. He has concrete alibis for all 3 murders. He also doesn't have the reverse peace symbol on his back. These are basic facts that for sure you haven't forgotten.
Then who?
I need you to be strong, Emily. If Thomas is not the killer, then there is only one other possibility. The only one with free access to the department files and doesn't have an alibi at the time of the killings. Love G himself.
Guys, the killer is...
George? George is the killer?
George!
Is this the actual reveal?
George!
I told you from the second Becky was getting murdered, he did it on fucking purpose. Same with Diane. He fucking bumped into the statue on purpose.
I feel like it's a half reveal.
Is it?
I think so. I don't think it's George. As much as I do think it's George, it's not George. Here's the thing. Access to the files. Yes, George has access to the files. Thomas had access to the files too, and he could be helping out with whoever is actually the killer. I think Thomas is, secondhand to either, unfortunately, York in his psychopath second state, or my other guess, unfortunately, because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, is Forrest Kaysen. I just don't think it's George.
Devon, what do you think?
Listen, man. York said it's George. It's gotta be.
You going with York?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
This game has another card up its sleeve, I feel. I don't know.
You know what? And when I see that card revealed, I will be very disappointed in all my chips that I just put in. But at this point in time, I'm all in, baby. It's gotta be. He's not there. He stayed.
They
he
want
stayed
another
in the
twist.
sex dungeon.
They want another twist. I mean, this is the thing that pisses me off, is that it completely makes sense. Where we were talking about before how he was beaten by his mom with a tree. So he has maybe some issues with women. He has an obsession with Emily, right? He admits that he liked her when she came in when she was underage, which is kind of gross. But that's where I feel like this game is like, it's kind of pointing you in that direction. They're gonna be like, guess what? Nope, it's Forrest Kaysen because he's been carrying around the fucking plant the whole time.
Maybe this is it.
Fucked
right?
every goddamn woman in this town.
maybe he's planted his seed. Maybe George is the killer, right? He is the killer, but maybe someone else is pulling the strings. Maybe he's just the puppet.
I don't know. It's too obvious to me. It's too obvious. I don't know. I don't know. This game pisses me off.
And since when did you start thinking this?
I wasn't sure to start with, but you saw the pictures, right? In that secret room in Carol's bar. That was when I became 100% positive.
But George didn't have the tattoo on his back.
Ah, right. He doesn't have a tattoo on his back, but there is a pattern there.
What do you mean?
Emily, I'm not saying that the pattern was the tattoo. Remember what Harry said. There isn't a single thing that can maintain its shape for eternity.
I do give props to John for picking that out early on in this series. John said, oh, yeah, we saw George's back. It had the scars, but it might not be a tattoo, but those scars might make up a symbol.
And this is where I'm on the fucking line, dude. Or I'm like, is it George? But then I'm like, it's too obvious. I don't know. This is where I don't understand where the game's coming from. I don't know what kind of game they're trying to be. Are you telling me right now that George is the killer? Because I want to know if it actually is. But if it's not, I want to know. I want to know.
Kaysen interrupts the two and wants to know what's going on with the situation. Suddenly, the radio turns on. York lifts his hand and shuts Kaysen's mouth.
And George's back is a perfect example.
Hey, you two. Could you explain this so I can understand what's going on?
Emily, come in.
Emily here. I've rescued Agent York from the clock tower.
Thomas is dead. I was forced to shoot him.
I see. And you two are both all right?
York is a little weak, but we're heading back to the department now.
Okay, I'll do the same.
What did you guys think of George's voice right there?
This is where I think the game is framing it as us to believe that George is the killer. And it's going to have some twist at the end where it's not him.
He almost sounded disappointed.
Yes.
That they're okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he was surprised almost, right?
Like he was sad that Thomas is dead.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's not involved, but I don't think he's the main killer, quote unquote killer.
York stares at Emily.
George is a friend of yours, isn't he?
Yes.
Then what we are about to do is going to be tough to deal with. Are you willing to go through with this?
York, I'm deputy sheriff. This might be a small town, but I take pride in that. It's my duty to make sure that we catch all the bad guys in Greenvale. Even if it means facing an end that I would never have hoped for.
Okay. Then let's get moving. This case is going to end at the sheriff's department.
And York and Emily set off. We're not quite done. We're not quite done with this chapter yet. As Kaysen looks over at Willie and says,
This is madness. Willie, come on. Let's go with him. Chickening out now would be like leaving after eating the appetizers.
Now we're done with the chapter. What did you guys think of the chapter?
Some revelations have come to fruition. It was dope. I mean, we've all had multiple people on the radar, right? For who it could be. Honestly, I was thinking George, but that's kind of wild. That's kind of crazy, like to think. Like we've been playing the game for a little bit now, and you're so invested in these people now at this point, and you're like, fuck. Man, this bastard, right? Like this whole time he's been doing this.
I liked it from when Emily entered the clock tower on. Everything before was kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to it, if George is the killer, I'll accept it, and I think it'll be all right. Like it definitely makes sense within the story, but I do feel like there's a twist coming.
Are you boys ready to go into the next chapter?
Let's fucking do it.
Chapter 22, guys. It begins in front of the sheriff's department. York pulls up in the police car. Emily and Kaysen get out as well.
Emily, I'm going in from the front. You secure the back.
Okay.
What should I do?
Kaysen, stay at the entrance.
No, don't cut me out now. If this was a movie, I'd be some minor nameless character. And I thought I was the cheerful sidekick that helped solve the case.
Kicks the police car and hurts himself as he's still talking.
Yeah.
But York tells him to stay outside. We are now inside the sheriff's department. And this is different than every other time we've been in the sheriff's department, except for the file room, because this entire section is now a mysterious shadow section, boys.
Hey.
Yeah. Right after entering, York whips out a cigarette, starts to smoke, and you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Yes, darling. You look so nice.
He looks so nice. It's a profiling segment, which means we're going to have to find some clues. Now, if you walk into the office room, where George's office would be, you'll see Anna in the distance, and she runs through the door into George's office. Literally through the door. What do you have to do?
Well, you gotta follow her, dude.
Yeah. You follow her inside, and there, glowing red, is an item. First thing I did was to check if my suit was getting dirty.
I did as well, and I had to change my suit at that point.
Yeah, I was like,
Getting a
no
little
flies.
$4 charge to
Dry
clean my
clean.
suit. $32 crackers, $4 dry cleaning.
Dude, it's ABS
Economy does not make sense.
and ACS. Always change suit, always be saving.
Yes,
That's it,
ACS, ACS.
That's it, dude. Can't do them flies no more, bro.
I'll never be stinky again. You walk over to the glowing red mark, and you find your first clue. That clue is inside the trophy. It's a key for the hidden room. We only need one more clue, guys.
Hey,
Easy. This place is a cakewalk, right?
Place easy as shit. Who made this baby back bitch game? Huh? Who did it?
Immediately after grabbing the clue, we all walked over to the phone and saved.
Always be saving.
Always be saving.
Facts.
And when you head outside, mysterious shadows have entered the battle.
You pull out your infinity ammo magnum.
And
Just
fucking-
kidding.
Oh, I did. And I wrecked
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Must be nice.
What you want to do is kill the enemies around because they'll have keys to the cells in the jail area. Guys, how did this section work out for you? How did playing in the sheriff department go?
I felt like the shadows are definitely harder
Oh yeah.
this go around. A little quicker, took a little bit more damage.
Unless you got that magnum.
This part wasn't necessarily difficult. There was that infinite spawning pool.
Yep.
There's just one dude, I think, that would just come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just gathered keys. You know, I'm going off the OG regular pistol, so it definitely took some shots to do some things.
It did take a few shots to put some damage in, but
It wasn't hard. It was just more challenging than previous sections, I guess you could say.
I mean, I walked around the sheriff's department with my second penis, just
Oh,
bah, bah,
Hey,
bah.
check. Can we get a check?
snap.
Woo, Magnum PI, baby. With enough keys, you can head down into the jail area. In the jail area, you can start opening up cells. Now, the cells are a
Hey.
fun part because you're getting ready for some CQB, baby. Close quarter battle.
Not unless you got that 200 IQ, baby.
Why is that, John? What did you do? Well, actually, before you tell me what you do, I'm going to explain what the situation is. You walk into the cell, and an enemy spawns immediately. And these cells are tiny. There's not a lot of room. So if you don't have a weapon that can take them out pretty quickly, you are going to take damage. But John,
Yeah.
John
Well,
took after.
I ran into that.
He took after a certain someone in this group and followed that 200 IQ example.
Did you do that too?
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying that I'm super smart.
Wow. No, so the first like one or two cells, you get into the door and it closes behind you, and a guy comes up, like you said, very close quarters. And when you have a shit ass pistol that you can barely dent people with, it takes a couple shots. But I think it was like the third cell, I decided to try and run outside the cell door and close them in. They can't get out, and you can shoot them through the cell door. And you don't have to worry about them coming after you.
Brilliant play. Brilliant play. Yes.
I commend you, sir. I stood in there like a motherfucking trapped ass fox caught by his arm, trying to gnaw that bitch off, dude. I went through 2 melee weapons, I believe.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I went hard with the melee weapons.
Oh my god.
It was not good. It was not good. I took some
Pete looked like he
damage.
struggled real.
Yeah,
lot
Pete had a hard
there.
time.
It's the reason I didn't run out of the cell is because I just said,
Yeah.
no, you're not surviving.
I didn't even know you could do that. Run out of the cell, dude.
I was in the cell like, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I went through 2 melee weapons.
Devon was over in there like the Smoking Aces elevator, just.
Facts, dude.
In one of those cells, when you kill an enemy, you get the final key. You walk into the middle cell on the right side, on the right-hand side of the hall, and inside it is Anna. She has her hands behind her back. She's swaying in the wind, and then yet again just runs right through the door. And when I say through the door, again, literally just runs through the door. After I save, I try to do the same thing. I try to run right through the door, and I faceplant right into the door.
You idiot. Why would you do that?
I did the same thing.
I did the same thing as well.
I'm so used to just running through the doors because it's such a faster animation than...
Yes. Look through it, and then, it looks okay.
Looks like I'll walk through.
Yeah.
This shit slapped you in the face so hard, bro.
I felt like this was done on purpose, knowing that people would just be running through the doors all the time. And
I feel like in real life, I did like a, what? Like I bounced back and just,
This is like, I think this was his way of saying, calm down, slow down, relax. You're getting where you need to go. Just calm down.
No reason for it.
No
Just
way.
be a dick.
Yeah, I swear it was like, watch these fuckers try to run through this door.
The fucking puppet master is like, dance, puppet.
Just fucking donk.
Why do you crash right into the door? Well, because it's the heaviest door known to man, and York has to forcefully push it open. I don't know why. It's just a heavy door.
Hey, you're more daring than I was. That second door, I was like, I'm gonna make sure there's not a push animation on that shit.
No, I did not learn from my mistake. I ran right through the second
Fool
door.
me once, shame on me. You fool me twice. Or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Facts, bro. I walked up to that door like this.
Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't even think of that. I think
Fucking
like
pulled it open. I looked to see if it's good and walked the fuck through that door.
I think in the back of my mind, as I was running down the stairs that lead to that second door, in the very darkest corner of my mind, there was a thought that went, what if the second door? And it was like, no, charge through.
Oh, God.
Whether you charge through the second door or open it up slowly, you end up in a circular room with trees all around the outside of it. There's another platform that you can walk up on, and of course you're going to walk up there because there's a medal up there. And why are we not going to grab the medal that's up there?
Sure.
When you do, the scene takes over, and it pans around the room, and mysterious shadows start popping up, and there are a lot of mysterious shadows in this room.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, when they kept showing more and more coming, I was like, okay. Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? Why we gotta have so many people coming?
York, like a boss, just walks down into the center of the room.
Not a move I would have done. I would have stayed right
up there. Like, y'all come up here.
Exactly.
Guys.
I mean, when you have a Magnum, is it really that much of a trouble?
I got fucking gang banged on this shit so bad.
I got grabbed a couple times.
I'm gonna let you know because there's no way around it besides killing all the mysterious shadows in this room.
Yep.
How did this work out for you all?
This was very difficult. I got shot once. I got grabbed twice. I did not have a good time. But eventually, I took the 2 shotgun ones out first. Like, I ran around and took both of them out first. They had to go.
I'm pretty sure there's 3 people with guns.
You're right. There's 3, yes, because the far one on the far side has a shotgun as well. Yes, 3 people with guns.
This is probably the most difficult portion of the game
Yep.
that I've experienced. This one's pretty wide open, and even though there's a lot of people and they can gang up on you, I feel like it's kind of your own fault if you die from it. Which, granted, I did die from. I got shot twice, and I didn't heal after the first time. Yeah. And again, I don't have a Magnum, I just have a regular old water pistol, and took a little bit to get these guys down, but it was challenging. I'll say that.
Like I said, even with the Magnum, I still ran into some trouble with this, just because they're so fast.
Right,
they're much
super
faster
quick.
than the enemies before.
Definitely.
Eventually, we all succeeded in taking out the mysterious shadows in the room. We cleared them out, and we find the second and final clue of this chapter. It is Carol's earrings. I also love the way that they spell earrings.
Yeah.
It's not like...
Oh, yeah.
It's her ear rings.
Right.
York whips out his cigarette, starts to smoke.
Fiend. He's a goddamn fiend.
Hopefully he finishes this one this time.
I don't think he ever finishes a cigarette.
No.
We at least get to finish this profiling segment.
Yeah, buddy.
We see the raincoat killer enter the area.
You know what's fucked up? He probably kicked that door. That other door, the one that we just fucking hit our head on. He probably fucking kicked that bitch wide open.
But he didn't enter the area by himself. He is dragging a woman by the wrist behind him. Who could it be? It is Carol. The next picture, he is holding her by the throat. And the picture after that, a knife is in the air.
I didn't know what this was at first. It's like, what the fuck?
Love is in the air, John. Love is in the air.
It was his love. It was his love that he was about to penetrate her with.
It's Love G, man.
Love G. Love G himself. It's a knife. The knife is what I'm saying. Is the love. By the way, our listeners. Yeah, the G sound. Good knife.
The good knife.
In the last picture, we see the upside down peace symbol splattered in blood. We don't know where it is, but it's there. York comes out of his cigarette nap. Carol is standing in the middle of the room, brushing her hair. Emily runs into the room, and as she's staring at Carol, something hits her face. Turns out those were drops of blood. As she looks up at the ceiling, and there it is. There's the upside down peace symbol on the ceiling in blood.
You're in the kill room. You're in the fucking kill room.
We are. The view then changes from the symbol on the ceiling to Carol. She drops her brush, turns around slowly. I was expecting some type of big reveal, like a real like nasty reveal, because she had her back to you this whole entire time. But
yeah, she
just kind of looks the same.
I almost thought it was going to be fucking Thomas for a second.
Imagine.
Like, what?
She has some blood falling from her mouth, so you assume that her tongue has been taken out. She collapses, and Emily runs over and tries to hold her up. You can see that the front of her dress, she's wearing a red dress, is all bloody. She then starts spelling words with her blood on the floor. First thing she writes out is Thomas. Emily tells her,
Thomas. He's dead. I shot him. I had to.
It makes sense for Carol to write Thomas. It's a short one word, you know, she's dying at the same time. So it makes sense for her to write that short word. But then she writes this long-ass sentence after that. Yeah. She writes this long-ass sentence immediately after. She writes, we were substitutes. George loves. And Carol starts to close her eyes like she's about to pass away. But she doesn't, because she jumps up and yells, thrusts a bunch of seeds into Emily's mouth.
As seeds are coming out of her mouth.
Yes, seeds are falling out of her mouth as well. While this is happening, York runs over and Muay Thai knees Carol right off of Emily. Just straight. Boom, high knee.
Oh, yeah.
Carol flings off, lands on her stomach. As she tries to get back up, she throws up blood and seeds all over the place and then collapses again. Emily is
swallowed all those seeds.
Yeah, swallowed
balls.
all the seeds. Not doing hot at all. York yells for Kaysen, and we transition to them outside. Emily is sitting inside Kaysen's truck, and York is telling Kaysen,
Rush to the hospital. She needs a full stomach and liver cleansing.
York, you need to come too. She needs...
No, I have to take care of something here.
But I can't take her alone.
Please, Kaysen.
Okay, I'll do it, fast. But if something happens, don't blame me, okay?
Just go!
and Kaysen speeds off. Willie's in the back in the doghouse, and there they go. York watches them drive off and says,
I haven't been this emotional in a long, long time. Can you tell, Zach?
And the camera slowly zooms out. We transition to one more scene. A dead Carol lays on the floor, and the raincoat killer stands above her. And then we get a close-up of George's face.
Well, I feel like I didn't see that at all.
Oh, that
I
was
must have
there.
missed that. Fuck me. Holy shit.
That happened.
Well,
just boom.
I totally missed that in the whole fucking shit. Whoa.
Wide open.
Damn.
How you feel, John? How you feeling?
So, John, what did you think of the chapter?
I feel like an idiot. Jesus. I wish if I... Oh, God. I did say he had the background for it to happen.
You did.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. That makes sense. It makes sense.
I just want to say, John, you did profile him.
I did profile the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right off the bat.
You were taking pictures, kid.
Yeah.
I really like the way this chapter came to a close. I feel like we've got all the information that we need. I still do think, yes, George is the killer, but someone else is pulling some strings here.
Yeah, Carol felt like more of a trap than anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it was that she was trying to just lure in Emily. Emily is the fucking target, right?
Yes.
She's
Emily
the
is the
one
target.
that is everyone is after.
She mentioned that George loves Emily. We never touched upon a certain conversation that they had when they were in the bar at the Galaxy of Terror, when Emily was all dressed up, looking nice in her black dress. They talked about how George had a thing for Emily back when he was, I want to say 32 and she was 16 or something like that.
You know, the natural
super
age.
old.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. When you should fall for somebody.
Yeah. It's that Greenville age.
Super creepy, but it definitely sets up this scenario right here.
This game is fucking nutty, dude. I can't believe I missed the George thing at the end. That makes me so mad. I must have been looking at the goddamn chat. This is why I shouldn't stream people. This is why. No, I had fun. It was a good time. But I totally missed that.
Did you guys enjoy this section?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I think it was a 75-25. The part with the dog chasing was just really fucking annoying to me.
It was
Other than that,
monotonous.
it was good. I
Yep.
liked it.
I would agree, 100%.
And we got our
There's
first
no
boss battle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to
Got
play as a
some-
different character.
got some hook in the eye.
Hey.
Still good. How do you feel, Pete? As someone that played it beforehand, was like experiencing the story all over again.
It's exciting. There are things I forgot and things I clearly remember from playing before. And there was a lot in this chapter that I didn't remember until I saw it again.
Okay. I mean, you obviously remembered the George reveal, I'm assuming.
Yes. Knew that from the start. So when I started this game and you pull up and you see George standing there, I was like,
Yeah.
you motherfucker.
That's awesome. God, I feel like this whole section has just been undercut by me missing that one little fucking part.
Great.
I feel so underwhelmed right now.
You feel back to your
God damn it.
defeated,
I feel
defeated
so
John.
stupid. Again,
Do you think
other people could
there's
be involved?
Yeah, do you think there's more to it? Do you think it's just George? Do you think
No,
there's something else going
no.
on?
No, I think it's just him.
I feel like at one point I said George is it after Becky, after what happened with her when he fucking just cut the wire. I feel like he did that on purpose. Now, like looking back at it, right? He did that shit on purpose. He bumped into the
Right.
statue on purpose, this
Right.
motherfucker. But like, yes, it's him. He's the killer, but I feel like there is more to it. And I'm gonna get all CSI fucking whatever. With the unsub, there's always a trigger So something had to have triggered him doing all this. And I think someone else is pulling the strings or someone else is in his ear.
And you know what? We're going to find out more in our next section. I need all of us to play to the end of episode 5 for next week's episode.
Episode 5. All right, let's do this.
Why are we talking about what section we're playing to? That's because if you want to play along with us, you can. Go ahead, play up to the end of episode 5, and then use the Discord link that's in the YouTube video description or the description on the listening platform that you're using, and visit our Discord. Leave us your comments, leave us your notes, leave us your feedback, your questions, anything you want. Discuss the game with us. You can do that by just joining our Discord and talking with us. Guess what? Any questions you ask, we're 100% going to bring them up in the episode. John.
Yes?
If they don't want to play the game, but they want to still be involved, what can they do?
Yeah. Well, you can follow us on our Twitch channel, BLKWHT Gaming. One of us, probably me, will be playing through the section, and you can just watch us play it. And then you can be caught up with the story and then listen to what we have to say about it. It's so easy. You can play with us, you can not play with us and watch us.
Easy as pumpkin pie.
We make it so easy for you guys.
It's almost like we're doing the work for them.
Yeah. In fact, you should definitely go follow us there. At least pay us with a follow. That would be nice.
That would be
Thank
awesome.
you. You're welcome.
Obviously, we have our video version of this, but Devon, what if they don't have time to watch the video? What if they're on the move?
Guys, listen. Peter, I'm glad that you bring that up. Because if you guys are moving, if you guys are going out for a jog, driving, got to commute to work or something like that, or you just got, a break or something from work, lunch break, you can listen to this lovely podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, right? Podcasts right there, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Dude, we just make it so easy for you to listen to this.
That's so many avenues. So many avenues. Like John said, like Devon said, whatever you're listening to us on or watching us on, if it's YouTube, give us a subscribe. Trigger those bells, get those going so you get the notification that this has been uploaded. If you're on Spotify, give us a follow. iTunes, rate us. Any rating you want. Be honest with us.
Anyone.
We prefer the
5-star. We know it's a 5-star. We know
5-star.
it's
5-star.
We know.
But
be
honest. We appreciate the feedback. Also, if you think we're pretty cool people, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We post fun little videos and other types of things. Basically, we spread our geekiness, We spread our love of video games on the social medias. So you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BLKWHT Gaming, which is the same thing as our Twitch channel. So again, follow us there as well. If you want to reach out to us in a more private sense, feel free to reach out and send an email to blkwhtgaming@gmail.com. Everyone who has joined us for this episode, thank you so much. It has been a joy to have you here. I hope you have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Peter Hoy, your host, joined by my friends, Johnny Bag of Donuts.
Thank you, guys.
And Gohan's real father.
Thank you, guys.
Devon.
Hit you with a special bean, baby.
We are Black and White Gaming. Until next time.